So a few days back, I attended a program at JRA. The program is Creators to Creators. And I recently just got back. In fact, I got back on a Thursday and the program was like the next day. And despite the fact that I was very, very tired, since it was something that interested me, and if you could recall, if you watch my previous video, if you haven't, please go ahead to watch it. If you watch my previous video, you realize that content creation of a thing is something that has been bothering me, and I've been trying to figure out a way around it. And I also mentioned how I'm struggling with being consistent, accepting the fact that I have a terrible camera, and making the most of what I have and all of that, and also trying to shoot videos without having to have so many cuts in the videos. So I'm just trying to accept myself for who I am and try to become the best version of myself. And so when this opportunity came by, I attended, by the way, when it came by, I decided to grab the opportunity ASAP. And so when I got there, it was a great event, by the way. When I got there, I met a lot of great people, and thanks to my very good friends who invited me to this program, because there was no way I could have heard of it or even discovered this in the first place. So thanks to him, shout out to him. I can tag him in this video in the description below. It's not really active on YouTube, but then I can just tag him for tagging sake. So I met a lot of great people there, and the main thing I want to discuss on is one of the things that one of the speakers spoke about. And so there are some things I noted down, there are some things I jotted in my notes, and I have them written in my screen here on my laptop. So please bear in mind, I might be checking my laptop screen from time to time, because I really do not want to miss any of the the knowledge and tips I got from the very event, especially from this very particular speaker. And the title of this whole thing we're discussing on is Finding Your Voice. I can very much relate to this, because this is something I've been really struggling with. Content creation is something I'm very, very passionate about, but then I'm trying to figure out a way around it, because first of all, I'm trying to accept myself for who I am. I'm trying to be confident in myself, my voice, and my personality, and my experience and everything in general. And so this is something I can really, really relate to. And if you can relate to this as well, then this is the perfect video for you. And so the first tip I got was finding clarity. Finding clarity in whatever you're doing is very, very crucial and essential, because it's until you've clarified your journey, that is, what are you, where are you heading to, what do you have, what are the resources you have, what are the resources you don't have, what are the things you need, what are the things you don't need, where are you heading to, everything in general. Finding clarity is very, very important and very, very essential in your journey. You need to clarify your journey in order to even make progress in the first place. And that is very, very true, and I really agree to what she said. The speaker was a lady. And so finding clarity in whatever you're doing is very, very crucial, and this is something I've been practicing. From time to time, I sit back in a quiet place alone with my book and paper, and just go quiet and think, to clarify and be honest, be honest with myself, because who am I trying to impress aside myself? I'm just discussing with myself. Am I trying to impress someone else? So I just have to be honest with myself, know the exact place that I am, and know where I'm heading to, know the exact thing I need to do in order to get to my destination, and also everything in general, just finding clarity in general. And so the next is to get used to your rubbish. This is something that I myself personally have also been struggling with, especially with the phone I'm using. But then I've decided that no, I'm not going to settle for less. The George, the IK, the Peter, whichever name you know me with, the person that started YouTube, that started YouTube few years back, wouldn't settle for a very terrible camera Although, yes, they said get used to your rubbish, but then I've accepted that, okay, I'm not so perfect at this thing, but then I just have to get used to it. And so, please, is very important. That's your camera. That's very terrible. Please go ahead and use it. That's your background, that's your location, that your voice that you feel is terrible. Please go ahead and use it. Go ahead and use it, because there's no way you can actually get better at this thing if you don't even practice in the first place. I'm discussing to myself as well. So please get used to your rubbish. It is rubbish, but in the long run, you'll be glad, you started in the first place, because those people you feel that are so perfect, those people you see out there and you feel they're just so perfect, to be honest, they are not really perfect. They've just been doing this for a very, very long time. In fact, there is no such thing as being perfect. They've just been doing this for a very, very long time, and they just got extremely good at doing whatever they're doing. This doesn't have to just be for content creation. It goes to other things as well. It goes to your skill. It goes to so many other things. And take, for instance, barbing. I'm learning barbing, that is giving people haircuts and all of that. And one thing I've understood about barbing, it goes to whatever thing you're doing. It goes to either you're trying to learn how to ride a bicycle, or you're trying to learn a skill or one or two. There's no such thing as being perfect. Even my boss at the barbing salon is just so good at barbing, and to be honest, he is not perfect. In fact, sometimes he don't make mistakes, but then the whole idea is that there's no such thing as being perfect. Get used to your rubbish, and eventually in the long run you get extremely good at it. You feel me? So the next tip, the next thing I got from a speech was, you should have results of trying and failing. So if you really want to, find your voice and make something out of whatever it is you're trying to do, you should definitely have results of you trying and failing, because, my dear, you have to fail in order for you to succeed. Now, I know you might be trying to say, oh, why do I need to fail when I can learn from other people's experience? It is the truth. Take barbing, for instance. The reason why I'm using barbing, I'm just using stuff that I personally can relate to. I know there are other stuffs you can relate to as well, but then I'm using what I in particular can relate to. Take barbing, for instance. I can't count the amount of people's hair I've tarnished. The amount of people's hair I've destroyed, all to just get better. There is no way you can, succeed or get really good at something, or even know the potentials you have, the level you're capable of getting to, without having to try. And yes, of course you fail, but then that is just the first step into becoming something great. You have to fail in order for you to succeed. And so that is also very, very important. Just have records, have a track of you, trying and failing and trying and failing and trying and failing. Trust me, you will get better as time goes on. You'll get better. Now, the next is to identify what you are and what you are not. Just like I said, in the process of you finding clarity, you get to know who you are, what you're not, the current state you're in, that, okay, if it comes to content creation, this is the time I can get to schedule it and fix content creation. This is the amount of money I can invest into data and my research and all of that. This is the amount of money I can use to get some gadgets if necessary, or if you want to, if you can afford it. Knowing what you are and what you're not, and knowing that, okay, you can do this particular thing. And in order for you to be able to figure out all these things, you should have tried. You should have record of you trying, and obviously you failed. Then you knew that, okay, you're not really good in this aspect, and so you should maybe check other things and figure out what you're very good at. And so identify what you are and what you're not. We also help you in finding your voice in general. and I really, you know, accepted what she said here as well. So at this point, I'm not even, you know, giving numbers. So I believe this should be like the number 4 on the list, yes. But then another key point, another tip I got is to, you know what works but not necessary. Now, this is content creation, for example, because obviously you're probably, you know, watching this video because you are, you know, trying to like maybe come up with an idea on, you know, content creation or anything in general. So knowing what works but not necessary, I'll give you a scenario. Let's say, for instance, you know that in order to become a professional content creator, let's just put it that way, a professional content creator, you have to have this fancy gadgets, you have to have this, you know, fancy background with so many lightings and all of that, and a mic and this and that and blah 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 blah, and sound professional and be fluent in your language and everything. You know that is necessary in order to become that is very necessary in order to become a professional, and you know, you understand, you know, that's what you need in order to become, you know, this content creator that people be like, oh yeah, let's listen to this guy. But then if you know that, sorry, my phone locked because I'm actually using my phone to record the audio. So but then if you know that all these things, yes, they're necessary, they work, but are they really necessary? That's the question you should ask yourself. Having a fancy background works. As a matter of fact, it's even great. It's very nice if you have a fancy background. But is it really necessary? Can you really go ahead without, you know, making use of that fancy, you know, background and the lighting, or even the fancy mic and all of that? Just know what, you know, works and not necessary. If you have your Android phone, say for instance, or you have your iPhone, for instance, and it is okay to like make your videos, then please go ahead and make the video. Don't, you know, deprive yourself or delay yourself, you know, expecting to have this fancy, you know, camera in order for you to like start up your career or your journey on this content creation of a thing. So know what works and not really necessary. Thank you. So the next is to know what is inconvenient but necessary. Just like I said, in, you know, knowing what works but not really necessary, it goes to knowing what is inconvenient but necessary. There are some things that can be inconvenient, but you know that it is important in order for you to even, you know, get this thing done in the first place. So knowing what is inconvenient but necessary will also help you in terms of like trying to like find your voice. So you know that there are some things that you just can't do without. You just have to get those things done. Let's say for instance, you just have to learn how to edit videos in order to like get your videos out there and make it pleasing and, you know, enjoyable to your viewers. That's just an example. So it can be inconvenient. I mean, you can just record your video and upload. That can also work, but then knowing what is inconvenient but necessary can also help you in finding your voice. Yeah. So the next on the list is to keep your vision in front of you, because there will be so many inconveniences, and this is true. If you begin to look at all the stress that surrounds content creation, it might discourage you a little bit. Let's say for instance, the whole, you know, setup of trying to like make videos and all of that. Take myself as an example. I'm in my house, but my neighbor happened to have his gen on, and the way I'm even recording this video can be very funny. Not can be very funny, it's very funny, and it's a little bit stressful because due to the noise of the gen and also the phone that I'm currently using, which is a borrowed phone. Yes, it's a borrowed phone. That's just part of what I'm saying, you know what is inconvenient but necessary. The phone is a borrowed phone, and although yes, I have a mic, I have a lapel mic, but then the lapel mic does not work with the phone. So I am using my Android phone connected to this. I'm using this to like record the audio. And so it can be very, very stressful and inconvenient when I'm, matching everything, when I'm doing the whole editing process. And so there can be a lot of stress. Is it when you're trying to upload your video? It might take forever. Your video might have gotten to like 90% and then the thing cancels. Or is it maybe you're trying to if you're Nigerian, you're trying to do a night plan data plan to upload your videos, and maybe you slept off or something? Or is it, when you're recording your video and realize that you didn't even hit the record in the first place, or you didn't even turn on your mic, or your mic has not been working the whole time and you've been talking and talking and talking and talking. It can be really, really stressful. But then if you have your vision in front of you, you won't get discouraged, and this will, push you towards finding your true self and finding your voice. And so the last I have on the list, I think there are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, about 8 tips. And the last I have on the list is to challenge yourself. Yes, socialize with people that challenge you. Socialize with people that inspire you. Socialize with people that, give you the exposure. Take for instance, me going to this very event. If I had not accepted this opportunity, I won't have even gotten these tips in the first place. And there are some nice and cool people I met on that very day. And if I had not gone there, I won't have, learned the little that I learned, even though that little is a lot. So, put yourself out there, challenge yourself. I mean, if you socialize with people and you see what your mates are doing, then it exposes you, because when you see what your mates are doing, you now realize that, wait, you could actually do these things, because you see a lot of people out there who are doing great stuffs, and there's no way you can actually know that you also have the the potential and the capability to get to this exact same level without being exposed to that kind of settings you get. So just put yourself out there, challenge yourself, and keep trying and failing, trying and failing, trying and failing, and definitely at the end of the day it will all make sense. You can look back and be like, wow, at so year I was like this, at so year I was like this. And in the long run, if you have records of you trying and failing, you get to realize that in the long run, although yes, your videos are not so perfect, but then there are improvements, you've gotten better. And so yeah, that is it. So there's so many tips I got from this very event, and I was just excited and happy to share it with you guys. And I'm looking forward to being consistent here on this channel, and also trying to find my voice as well, because content creation of a thing is something that I'm really, really passionate about, and I really want to see progress in that. And so I've been contemplating and procrastinating on making this very video, but no, enough is enough. I'm making the video, and I'll try to get used to this particular rubbish, and I'll pass through the stress and the inconveniences, and I'll upload this video. And so yeah, I'm expecting you to do that as well. So this could be a wake-up call, to get your phone and stand up from your bed, stand up from that box you've trapped yourself in, and just create. Okay, create. All right, so yeah, so that's it. If you found this video helpful, you can give it a thumbs up. If you're also struggling in this aspect, you can also subscribe, turn on the bell icon, so you get notified when I drop my next video. And also, if you have 1 or 2 questions, or you also have other tips you can drop, please go ahead, drop it in the comment section below, and I'll be really interested to hear and listen and also connect with you guys. So yeah, on to the next video, guys. So that'll be the end of the video.